Yeah, hi. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your late night RAW review. It's been a long time I've done a late night RAW review. It's been a while. Usually, let me just be honest, I'm just very tired. Very tired from RAW, okay? This RAW is just lucky that I did not fall asleep. But it was still a very boring show. I just think that the reason why I was up because of like caffeine, shit I had to do. So, basically like being busy and multitasking, than just watching Raw prevented me from falling asleep entirely, or just basically being so tired after Raw ended that I wouldn't be able to do like this review. You know what I mean? I mean, I would love to do reviews at nights, like the night of, but just at the end of the day, the shows are just too terrible, you know? And this Raw was no exception. This Raw was just terrible. This Raw, like, what I like to do is I do watch the Legion of Raw review because I love Dr. Chris and Vince Russo. They're dynamic, and them just speaking the truth about, the modern wrestling product. And again, Vince Russo is always going to be a dear to my heart. The guy is absolutely not only cool, the guy knows what he's talking about, and it just sucks that all the smarty wrestling fans like to give him shit. And again, former WWE writer, he knows what he's talking about. This show, man, was just so boring. It was the same shit every week. And it includes everything that I hate about fucking modern wrestling. It's trash, okay? This show is trash. You want to talk about street trash? Well, this shit deserves to be fucking street trash because it is freaking dog shit. It's shit that you take in the street and no one will freaking care. They're lucky. This show, this company is lucky that they have fans coming to their show, okay? But watch it gets lowered than more because again the only reason why people are going is again a lot of them are marks, okay, so that's why they're still gonna have people going to the show, but also again they're advertising the show to make people pretend that oh, this is something to look forward to. Is not, but I still don't get that people are going because like for them to say like this is a sold out show, I don't even think this show was sold out. First of all, like sure they'll have people there, which I question why do people even go to these shows. It's funny, AEW is getting lower attendance, and WWE is not. Like, I mean, but again, WWE is lying about them being sell out when it's not really true. Like they'll only really sell out if it's like a star on the show, But whatever. This show sucks. Okay. I don't know what modern fans see in this, I don't. But again, I can't be doing wrong things this way because why the show is getting lower ratings. Everybody is thinking this way. So, if you're a normal person, you know that this show sucks. It's not worth watching. That's why the show gets low ratings than before. And next week will probably be probably one of the worst Raws also because next week for some reason they decided to do a double tape for this show. Like, listen, next week is not even Thanksgiving week, and yet they're already taping a show for next week. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? How does that make any fucking sense? It really does not. It does not make any fucking sense. It does not. So apparently there's news that WWE is going to be doing double tapes for shows coming up because of Thanksgiving, which I get it, they're trying to be nice, to the, people, again, this is really, it's going to help morale, backstage morale, and Triple H is going to, be beloved, guess Papa H cares and blah, blah, blah. But as much as I'm all about having time off for the holidays, I mean, again, they have time off for Thanksgiving Day. You have motherfuckers that are working on the Friday after, okay? What's wrong with the usual schedule? And again, you're doing a pay-per-view also on the Saturday anyways. Why not what's the problem of doing a freaking Raw and a SmackDown before and after Thanksgiving like you usually do. Like why is that a problem? But again, like next week's not even a Thanksgiving episode, but yet they're gonna do another show, which is the week of Survivor Series. So I don't get it. I don't get what they're thinking. I don't know. I just think it's just they're being lazy. Okay, I just think they're being lazy. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's just my opinion. Like, there's no reason to like have a live show unless you're going to the UKs or whatever. You know what I mean? That's just my point of view. I just think that WWE is just so fucking lazy now. They don't care, and they know every show is. They're basically booking the shows the same anyways. So like, who cares? I mean, I don't care because it's not gonna be like them doing anything different. That oh man, I don't want spoilers. But the thing is, it's like even if this show is taped, and I understand, like I do think this. Here's what I'm trying to say. Yes, the internet, it ruins the quality of the show. Like again, when now everything's so digital and spoilers are gonna go out, that's gonna hurt your chances of making people care about the show. But second, it's like they don't care. Like they don't have the urge of being quality. Like even when again, shows back in the day, they did tape shows. Back in the day when wrestling was good. Okay, they did tape shows. SmackDown was taped that time, a bunch of times. Right? Usually was taped. But again, there was like more quality to the shows. There were like more qualities for both shows, unfortunately. But unfortunately, there's not much quality even when they tape their shows. So that just sucks. And I also think it's a big mistake where you're gonna do a tape show right before Survivor Series. Like they're gonna tape the SmackDown before Survivor Series, which is again Black Friday. Which I think is like that's a big like again, why not try to build a big SmackDown, and then close your good go home show, and then Survivor Series. Like again, that's what hurts. Like that's what hurts. I would say Crown Jewel also, like the looking forward to the go home show, not intriguing. You want to make your go home shows very big and intriguing. Imagine. Because come on, like imagine if the Raw and SmackDown before WrestleManias were taped, which seems like they might actually do, believe it or not. They might do that since again they're doing a UK tour for God knows what reason. And I do think in a weird sense that could hurt WWE. I mean I'm not saying it's not gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad or whatever, but like I do think it will hurt it in terms of, like again, you're not gonna. It's not like you do a WrestleMania UK. You have your main core audience is American fans, and then you're gonna freaking rely on UK shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Them taping the shows, it's just not the same as they used to, and it's just like really, why are you taping shows? Are you really that lazy? Not that will make a difference because every show is basically a house show now. But other than that, this show it just really was just shit. Watch next week be just as bad or if not worse, especially when it's pre-taped. And I'm certainly not going to give a fuck about that show next week. So regardless, like, man, it's like, why are these shows so fucking bad? You know what I mean? Like, why? And why is it that I'm seemingly the only one, aside from a select few, that are saying this show sucks? And then, because you don't like Papa H, you're Vince McMahon, so you're a Vince cell or something. What the fuck does that mean? It's funny that smarky wrestling fans, they're using incel terms when literally they're probably the biggest incels in the fucking world. You know what I mean? They're probably the ones that are incels. Like, they're the incels themselves. A lot of wrestling fans are sadly incels. They can't get women. A lot of them are nerdy. It's just the fucking truth. But yeah, you're gonna call like Vince. If anything, from what I remember, a lot of people who support Vince McMahon are like fucking men who actually get bitches. So I don't know how fucking the whole adding cell in the end of the word it really does wonders. So you're just retarded. But again, okay, listen. Like sure, I'm not gonna act like I don't like Vince McMahon. I mean, I totally get like in terms of yes, the show's quality under Vince McMahon recently has obviously not been great. But again, there's a difference between, the person and like, you wanting to like a person to suffer just or no longer be part of WWE because you again, you're gonna want this guy to be in jail just because you don't like a wrestling show. Like what kind of sense does that make? Like, a lot of these fans, again, they think that that's their idea. They want Vince McMahon to be locked up so that way the show will be better. Like, how the fuck the show will be better? Like, if Vince McMahon even, like, you know, whatever. It doesn't make a difference. Again, you want him to be in jail. Y'all just sick. Let's just say that. Y'all just sick to think that. But other than that, like, what's the difference? How is the show even better, even that Vince McMahon is gone? Triple H is, again, the same. He learned everything from Vince, you dumb fucks. How do you think he learned everything? Because of Vince. Again, Triple H is just doing the same shit that Vince McMahon has taught him. He's just a younger Vince, but except he has a hard-on for these NXT indie darlings because he, for some reason, wants to appeal to the indie demographic because he thinks that's the only fandom, sadly, that exists. Because he knows that, unfortunately, and not that he really cares, they don't care to, I guess, you know, bring a new audience or whatever, some weird reason. You know? And again, they have their marks for these indie wrestlers for God knows what reason. I don't know. I don't care. And again, it's his pet project. A lot of these people are like his pet projects. Again, like Bronson Reed and Gunther and Damian Priest, Pete Dunne. A lot of these, you know, UK indie work rate bullshitters. Like, again, a lot of these guys like are his pet projects. That's why they're gonna be showcased. You know. Like, let's be honest, like, WWERAW has become basically more so the black and gold, right? The black and gold NXT. I mean, I was thinking to myself, like, how's that working out for you? Because, like, who the fuck really cares? You know, the show is really suffering. It's really not engaging. They're just doing shitty segments, leading to matches cliche. Again, freaking Sheamus and Braun Breaker, a match that they should try to build to a pay-per-view for the IC title. Instead of doing it next week on Raw, they're just good at hot shots. They're hot-shotting shit. You see, let me talk about hot shot booking. You see, back when wrestling was good, you want to talk about hot shot booking? When you did hot shot booking back in the day, people actually cared and actually loved the wrestlers and they were entertaining. And you know what? At least there are stories with those hot shot bookings. What is the booking and the reason for fucking Braun Breaker versus Sheamus? Just because of some stupid fucking show for Twitter? Like, some garbage show that nobody fucking watches. And you're gonna hot shot based on that, and that's our little story there? Give me a fucking break. And that's just sad. They literally wasted a potential big feud. Sheamus versus Braun Breaker. You know, two big stars of this. You know, it sucks that, like, again, I'm not gonna act like Sheamus is this great fucking talent, but it sucks at how shit wrestling is now. People are gonna praise Sheamus, and I do think that's what people are doing now because of praising him because everybody's shit now. But, like, at least he's big. He looks like a wrestler compared to everybody. And he's like look less of a goof. And that match is just gonna be a hot shot match with no builder story. It's happening on a fucking Raw. Like, what is with all these fucking mid-card title matches always happen on a Raw and SmackDown? For God's sake, build them up! God, like, fuck. And we're gonna see again Gunther and Priest. Not that I care so much. Like, the thing is, I don't hate the idea of it. It just, like, I just thinking in the day, man, I don't really want to see another match with them. Or at least, especially for a freaking pay-per-view like Survivor Series. You know? Like, I was expecting maybe they could, if you want to do a big match, like, heck, Gunther versus Punk would have been a big match to do at Survivor Series. But no, they're not going to do that, or whatever. But it's official. They're doing Priest versus Gunther again. And it's like, the problem with this now, I'm even less intrigued to watch this match because, for some reason, they're making Gunther look like a joke. They're making him look like a scary cat. Like, why? I thought Gunther's thing is that he's supposed to look like a fucking tough guy. He's a tough European guy. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? has this company gone retarded? Like, do you not know how to book a wrestler anymore? I don't know. I'm just surprised that this is what they're fucking doing. Like, really? Do you not know how to book a wrestler anymore? Like, you're actually gonna freaking book him. You're gonna book Gunther to be scared? Like, what kind of shit is that? Oh, the slow burn heel turn with the New Day. That's a story. Who the fuck is gonna care about it? Again, I already filmed the video. Well, not filmed. I'm taking the clip that I recorded already, and from the SmackDown review, and it's gonna be re-uploaded. It's gonna be just the same thing. Nobody cares about the New Day heel turn or the whatever Xavier Woods. It's gonna amount to nothing, and it's gonna the payoff is nothing. It's gonna just lead to both Xavier and Kofi being mid-card jobbers. Do you really want? Is that really a good thing? I don't think so at all. Oh wow, the return of Dakota Guy. Great, a fucking dykey looking bitch. We need that dyke back, and that's gonna create something. Yeah, that's make people care, right? Like, I really give a fuck about that dyke to come back. Like, literally, she's literally what freaking all these freaking feminazi freaking dykey bitches that are complaining that Trump won, and you think I want to see that bitch on TV again? I'm not saying she's ugly. I mean, she's not ugly. Maybe if I invite her to the big black couch, maybe go, oh shit, maybe she'll change her mind, and maybe she'll gain some entertainment aspect. But it's like, who fuck really cares about Dakota Kai? Oh lord. God, who the fuck cares about the New Day shit? Who the fuck cares about Big Bronson Reed? Like, great, he's a monster, and then yet the motherfucker get loose to Rollins. Oh wow, the Final Testament. Like, listen, I like Karrion Kross and Arthur. I like the Final Testament, but they're equivalent of like dead. They're dead. Okay, who the fuck cares? They're dead. And then the funniest thing is, and I would say this is probably the only thing I actually enjoyed, but it's because of how laughably bad it is. It's so bad it's good that they fucking beat up the fucking White Six, and that is just laughable. That is just a joke. But it's like, who the fuck cares? Just, yeah, go ahead and show that these fucking weirdos are just the biggest pieces of jokes. You just beat them up. Like, beat up this new big faction that they've been trying to hype up for how long? You know, this is supposed to be a memory of Bray Wyatt. And they're supposed to be scary. You know, can you tell they're scary? Like, on top, tough fucking scary motherfuckers. And then they get beat up. They get beat up by the fucking Final Testament, which is the most hilarious thing you could ever fucking... They get beat up by the fucking Miz! And there's no explanation how the Miz got free, by the way. So it just goes to show how stupid this company is. And not even show, like, anything. And not even keeping with kayfabe, but, like, whatever. That's just laughable. And you know what's to top it all off too? Our main eventers like Gunther and Priest. They did not even main event the show. Like, anything they're doing is not main eventing the show. You know what's main event? A fucking mess of a fucking women's tag title match. Like, who the fuck cares? God, like, why are the women main eventing? Again, women's wrestling doesn't draw. It's bad enough, you're gonna bring another shitty title. But great. Women's tag title match, which is based off nothing. There's no story and no reason to even do that match. They did a women's tag match, and for God knows what reason, Nia Jax was there, Naomi and Tiffany. So, again, the reason why they did that is because for God knows what reason, they decide they're going to plan a fucking shitty women's WarGames match. The women don't need WarGames, first of all. Why do they need WarGames? They do not need WarGames. Enough! Again, that's really forcing this fucking garbage WarGames match. Like, enough with it. Okay? You don't need it. But they're going to do it for, equality bullshit. Grab your Coca-Colas, drink it magnificently, inspire me some bitches go, oh shit, yeah, it's a little small. I mean, my package is a bit bigger than this though, but, I just want to showcase a nice, beautiful cola. In the end of the day, no matter how small and big a cola is just as good enough for anything, Give it to the bitch, she'll shut the fuck up. That's all it is. But the package is always big, and it'll make any bitch shut up. So, that's good stuff. On a big live couch, people. It's good stuff. Alright? Let me get my reading glasses on. And let's talk about this fucking show. Okay? Because, just to get more in depth. I mean, I already talked about the show practically. But we're gonna just, go through this entire show just to, get the context done and talk about what needs to be said and done order by order, okay? So, the show started with Gunther. Okay, so they opened the show like, oh, guys, guess what? Like, they're showcasing Liv and Raquel and Jade Cargill, Bianca, like, that match is happening, but, like, why? Okay, that was, like, the only thing that was announced, but, like, let it known, like, why was that the main event? Why was that, for some reason, like, announced the fucking main event, the fucking show, and be showcased? I don't fucking get it. Whatever. We then see Gunther coming out. They mention how he got pinned, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, oh, this is his first appearance is getting pinned and blah, blah, blah. Who the fuck cares? Yeah, whatever. Gunther is in the ring. He says, I'm still the World Heavyweight Champion! And then after that, Damian Priest comes out. Damian Priest comes out, and Gunther's like, oh, why are you coming out here? And then like, Damian's like, oh, this was already hyped up. Why, how about if you're gonna say something, you say it in my face? And then before you're gonna say all the things you have said in the past, all these lame insults, I was saying get over it if you have something new to do or whatever. Then he says, like, let's be honest, your vibe has been gone since winning SummerSlam. Which I don't know what does that mean? Like, what vibe? I never really felt like a vibe with Gunther. I mean, let's be honest. Like, the whole prestige of Gunther, let's be honest, did die when he lost to Sami Zayn. Because, again, it was... Listen. Gunther losing to Sami Zayn will always be a fucking joke. Okay? Like, a guy like Sami Zayn being Gunther. Like, what the fuck is that? Okay? Let's be for real here. What the fuck is that? Alright? So, if you want to talk about his vibe dying, his vibe really just died at WrestleMania 40. Let's be for real here. But again, this whole, okay, oh, since winning the title, you lost your vibe. Like, what, lost what? Like, when was this ever established that he, like, was struggling? Like, what is the vibe? Like, what vibe did he lose? Because the only vibe I've been getting with Gunther is that he's supposed to act like a heel, but yet he's acting like a babyface at times. So I'm very fucking confused. And I'm even more confused now as Gunther as a character. Why is he, like, again, why is Damian Priest, like, gloating to him? And then why is fucking Gunther, like, scared? What is that? Like, they're acknowledging something for some reason where now he's scared? Like, what? Isn't Gunther supposed to be a fucking tough guy? Like, what the fuck are we doing here? So, if anything, his vibe really truly died tonight. Like, the vibe of Gunther has already been kind of ruined because of this segment, because it was just fucking shit. Your vibe, you lost your vibe since winning the title because of Balor, my own brother. It started fading, and you started doubting yourself. Every title match you had, and you lost your vibe even more by losing to Cody at Saudi. Fans chanted Cody, and then Kaiser comes out to defend the honor of his ring general. It sounds like, how dare the street trash talks about my beautiful Gunther, who I like to suck his big juicy cock off the, I don't know, whatever. But then, like, he kept saying, like, street trash, Damian. Street trash, and then Damian attacked, punches him, and then, oh wow, Gunther was about to hurt him or whatever, but then they have a little face-off, and nothing progressed from it. He just walks away, and then, oh, he's not gonna fight or whatever. Again, I don't get this, really. I just think that this is just retarded and lame and weird. We then see backstage, Damage Control, like, oh, we want a chance against Liv. We are looking forward to the title match. But then, oh wow, like, oh here, and then, oh wow, Dakota Kai shows up from injury, and it's like, who cares? And Damage Control defeats PFC, which I'm struggling to realize what the fuck was PFC. But then I wouldn't have known unless they fucking mentioned the names of the people. So they mentioned Shayna Baszler, was it Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Sonya Deville. I forgot this was a thing. It's like they paused this feud because they got injured and they returned. They're doing the match again. Like, I'm just like, why are they doing this? Who the fuck cares? Really, we're doing this shit? Whatever. Backstage, we see Sammy and the Usos are on Raw, and they try to find a fifth member for WarGames. Sammy and Jimmy are still struggling to get along, but Sammy says that he knows a person that might help them. So they're still trying to do 5-on-5. My thing is, it will only work to be 5-on-5 if The Rock is going to be in this match. The problem, if Rock is not in this match, why should really people care? You know what I mean? You know? And who fuck cares, like, whichever team gets whatever. It will only work with Rock involved. Like, is 4-on-4 not really enough? You know? Like, honestly, 4-on-4 is probably the best way to go. You know? Build off from it. Build it up properly. But no, they need to fill freaking TV time, and I guess that's what they're really going to try to do now. Like, for the rest of the TV time they have until Survivor Series, they're going to waste our time looking for people. Like, really? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just think this is, like, unneeded unless, you know, whatever. Oh, yeah, backstage we see Kofi, you know, he goes to thank R-Truth is acting retarded, but then Butch interrupts. It's like, oh yeah, like, no, Xavier interrupts, like, oh, what's going on? It's like, and Kofi, oh, I just want to thank you. I don't know, Xavier for some reason wanted to, like, didn't want Kofi to thank, I don't know, whatever. Butch then gets involved for some reason, like, I don't know, Pete Dunne, whatever. Pete Dunne's like, why you keep calling me Butch or Pete Dunne, R-Truth? And it's like, I thought R-Truth, you know, I don't know, for some reason now R-Truth's dumb gimmick is like, oh, you know, he can't stop saying Butch or R-Truth. Like, it would have been funny if this guy confuses him with, like, JD McDoofy head. Like, would have that been something? But no, like, for some reason they're doing fucking, like, oh, get it, like, he can't say the proper name or with this guy. I don't know. Eventually Kofi gets involved with Pete Dunne because Pete Dunne, like, oh, you want something of this? You know, yeah, I do want something, baby, because the way you talk, how about me and you tonight in this ring? It's like, and then, like, Xavier's like, oh, why do this? And you know what? I can sympathize with Xavier Woods. Not that, like, why is he getting involved in this? It's like, who the fuck cares about this shit? What? First of all, who the fuck wants to see a Kofi-Pete Dunne match? It's not like they're big stars. It's not like I'm going to ever be intrigued. There's no story. Why should I care? And I'm tired of, again, stupid segments lead to match cliche. There's no story with this shit, and who the fuck cares? Like, really? We're doing this garbage? Whatever. Backstage, see Finn Balor. Finn Balor, is trying to talk, I don't know, he's, like, angry at that Damian's getting a title shot. You know, I'm just thinking to myself, what is Finn Balor doing? Like, he says he's not done with Damian, and yet he's letting Damian getting a title shot? Like, I would, listen, as much as I don't give a shit about Balor, won't it make sense that maybe, like, instead of just doing Balor, and instead of just doing Damian versus Gunther again, maybe they could have made this a triple threat with freaking Finn Balor? You know, something like to continue this feud, and this could have been a triple threat at least? But no, they're not doing that for some God knows what reason. Because you know what's going to happen. You know Finn Balor's going to get involved at Survivor Series. And they're just going to basically do the fucking same shit they did at Survivor Series. They're just going to copy and paste. What, are they really gonna think we're dumb that fucking Balor's not gonna get involved? Unless for some reason they're actually dropping the feud. Not that I give a fuck. I don't know. There's dissension between the Judgment Day, by the way, which is like, why and like, who the fuck cares? So much for this new Judgment Day. Finn Balor's angry about Dom for not bringing home the World Heavyweight Championship, but Dom reminds him, like, you know, I pinned Damian Priest, something you couldn't do or whatever. Balor says, since, you know, you said you're so tough, how about, you know, and, you know, we're supposed to focus on defending tag champs. How about you loosen up the Wall Raiders for us or something? Like, who the fuck cares? Malik then says, see, you know, we work things out like a happy family. So they're doing dissensions between Balor and, like, I don't know. Again, so what? Balor's going to lose, no longer be part of the Judgment Day eventually. And they're just going to do the same shit what they did with Damian Priest, but this time with Balor? I don't know. I don't know. So basically, what? Is that the thing? The Judgment Day is going to kick each other out? That way there'll be no more Judgment? I don't fucking care. I don't care because it's not like I care about the Judgment Day as people to, like, really be that invested, you know? It's not like this fucking group is, like, credible, you know? Like, oh, man, I love the Judgment Day, man. I can't believe they're breaking up. What's going to happen next? Like, I don't care. I don't care at all. Whatever. Oh yeah, Butch defeated Pete Dunne because of Xavier Woods or whatever. Who the fuck cares? We said to see Bronson Reed coming out. Bronson Reed then says like, oh, yeah, Seth Rollins, you know, I gotta give you props. You are a man around the ring, but you know, but I'm a monster. So how about I'm not done with you being, I don't know. He basically mentions Ron's catchphrases like, oh, you may be a visionary revolutionary, but I'm a monster and I'll cook your ass and whatever. Then Rollins comes out, he looks like a fucking queer like usual, but again, he's not, you know, even though he's like prancing around, he decided to still freaking attack Bronson Reed, and they did their stupid little brawl, which makes no sense, and not that I give a fuck. I'll get it, Bronson throwing him around, but then Rollins escaped, you know, when Bronson was about to be a big move, because he's Humpty Dumpty, like, again, this is what they used to do with Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. Like, Braun Strowman would throw around Roman Reigns, but then, you know, Roman Reigns would escape running, like, oh, I'm not finished with you! And then he was like Humpty Dumpty, fell off the wall, and freaking, he'll act like Rhino from Spider-Man, because Rhino's a fucking retard. He'll just crash into things and just be like a fucking retard. Again, that's what Bronson Reed is. This is like repeat of the same shit they're doing with Bronson Reed. That Bronson Reed is like the Braun Strowman, and Rollins is, you know, Roman, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck, okay? Did you see them keep brawling, but then eventually they get separated? Rollins is very angry, and I want it one more time! And they make the stupid match for next week that anybody really cares. Like, why not, I don't know, build it up to, like, not that I want to see this match at Survivor Series. Okay, first of all, I don't even want to see this match again. I want this shit to be over. Who fucking cares about Bronson Reed? And I don't fucking care about Seth Rollins. I think the guy's a faggot. But won't it make sense that if you're gonna do another match, make it different stipulations than the same garbage match we've seen before, or whatever? But then after the match, after that, we then see Sami Zayn. He's backstage, like, and then he confronts Seth Rollins and says like, hey man, you know, I need someone who knows Roman Reigns just as much as me, and I know damn well that you and Roman have your issues, just like I did with Roman, but we gotta work things out together. We want to take out the new bloodline, and I think that you will be the best man's job with you and his with Roman. And then Seth Rollins like, what are you talking about? You want me to help Roman? After all we have done to take down the Roman Empire, you want to bring him back up like to the path he was? After all this stuff I did with Roman, no, I'm sorry, pal. I respect now. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna be joining. So I will say I did like. You know, isn't that sad? They're relying on a SmackDown storyline or a storyline like the Bloodline to carry the show too. Because if this show did not have the Bloodline, you know, involved, this show would have been a dud. Let's just say that. They better be thanking whatever god they have that they have at least the Bloodline to at least tell the story, you know. So they try to talk to Rollins, which makes sense. You know, it makes sense for like them, you know, Sammy to talk to Rollins a little bit because you know the past. It kind of makes sense. So he said no, it's fine. And then eventually later we see the new Bloodline with Solo talking to Rollins. So it makes sense. Damian Priest defeats Ludwig Kaiser. This match should have been a squash match. Like that's what it should be. Like if you're gonna do shit like this, like it makes like. First of all, let me fucking say this. Why is Ludwig Kaiser having a competitive match with fucking Damian Priest? Like, in what sense does that make any sense? Especially when he's like a lackey. Like, Damian Priest should have like squashed this motherfucker. And again, let me even say this. Why wasn't this like the main event? Instead, but oh, they want to do some bullshit for WarGames garbage. I give a fuck. Like, why aren't the main eventers main eventing? Like, this is a former world champion. He's fighting for the world championship, and this shit was not even the fucking main event. Whatever. Damian Priest defeats Ludwig, and then we see Gunther is, you know, he comes out and he just disappointed. Like, he didn't even get his heat. Like, he didn't get a heat to attack, like, fucking Damian Priest and whatever. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, you know? Whatever. We see Braun Breaker, he's talking crap about Sheamus, like, you know, so they mentioned speed. Like, who the fuck watches or cares about speed? Because, again, because they're fighting for the speed championship opportunity, that anybody fucking cares. Braun Breaker then says, yeah, you know, I'm a man of speed, and I want, you know, adding the kind of championship in my forte would have been, or something equivalent, but if it wasn't for that stupid looking idiot Sheamus, I would have become the speed champion. And then Sheamus was like, alright, let me tell you something, fella. You know, you have the toilet of there. I've been my path. It's been my dream to become the champion. After, you know, what you have is arrogance. You know, something like I used to when I joined. You know, I gotta be joined Cena for the WWE Championship. But you know, how about this? You know, you want to put your mouth where the mouth is. How about me and the one for the IC title next week on Monday Night Raw? They're taping Raw tonight, so it basically happened tonight. But it's like, why not build this shit? Like, why aren't you building this feud? Like, this could be a nice mid-card feud, especially with these two men who, in a sad state of affairs where I hate to say Sheamus as one of the top stars, because in my opinion, I think the guy, again, not only overrated, but there's a reason why people did not like Sheamus or think he was entertaining, because the guy, people thought he was boring. But I'll give credit to Sheamus, and I'll say this about Sheamus. Like, I don't know what happened before, unless he's like a better wrestler now. Like, definitely there's a reason why people did not like Sheamus in like the early days, like 09 through like whatever. But I gotta say, like, Sheamus, he is a good wrestler, you know? And I don't mind him being like an Irish type of Celtic warrior type of gimmick where, if, you know, and that, I don't mind it. If he acts like a tough guy, then I have no problem him being a thing in WWE, you know? I just think the guy could be very overrated by fans, especially nowadays, because like they're like a lot of these wrestling fans, they grew up watching like in the PG era, which is like sad and pathetic, but whatever. Like, this could be a nice little mid-card IC title feud, you know, build towards SummerSlam, not SummerSlam, Survivor Series. See, I don't know, is WWE fucking confuses me? Like, they do not have to fucking book a show anymore? They think this is SummerSlam again? I don't fucking know. Again, and then you can say this too, like, does WWE not know how to book a wrestling show for two, like, are they that colorblind? Like, with SmackDown, at least with SmackDown, it's not match heavy. This show is so match heavy. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why is it like with Monday Night Raw, it's like more so like about matches than meaningful segments and storylines? Like, come on here, what are we doing? Whatever. We then see Jimmy says, hey, can we talk? He wants to talk to Braun Breaker. I don't know. We seen also Jay talk to Ray apparently, but I did not see that, or whatever. I don't know, but I kind of think that makes sense though. Talking to Braun Breaker based on what happened with Jimmy, not Jimmy, with Jay and the Bloodline, and that little interaction with Solo, well, not Solo. I mean, there was a little interaction with them, by the way. Jacob had too. That could be something. But I do think that's like, wow, that kind of might be too soon at the moment even to even do something like that, you know? We then see The Miz. He's backstage, again, unharmed, even though he was kidnapped. There's not even footage of him getting released. But whatever. He's there. He's traumatized. The Final Testament, a.k.a. Karrion Kross, he's like, oh, Miz Buddy, and they're hugging him, like, hey, you're okay, and then like, I gotta go down, please, I gotta take a break, you know, or then like, no, take your break, what are you talking about? We gotta explain what does the Wyatt 6 want with us, and then they take him to the ring, and then the Miz started to bleed, so I guess there was like a little botch where the Miz was bleeding from the eye, whatever, but then the Y6 show up, you know. And then like, oh, they're gonna face off with like, oh, and then like Karrion Kross, know what the heck is there a problem with in the Final Testament, and then The Miz, he attacks Eric Rowan in a chair, like a big guy like Eric Rowan. It's not like he no-sold it. No, he just freaking, again, like so much for him being a big guy. It's not like he no-sold it, especially with this Y6 superpowers. He fucking just fall down. So what a joke that is. And, oh, wow, it was all ruse, you know, Miz and the Final Testament, they just fooled us, and that nobody fucking cares, and they laughably, this was just laughable, they beat up the Y6. Fucking, the Y6 just looked like a fucking joke. It's hilarious, because after months of building up the Y6, and they already look like a joke, especially to a group that has been losing. What a joke. Like, what a joke. Like, I just think that's hilarious, you know? And I don't care. I don't care. Good riddance. You know? Good fucking riddance. Backstage, we see Rollins. He's walking out, and then he sees Solo. Solo's asking, like, you know, hey, Rollins. We want your help to take out Roman for good. We know you don't like Roman. You know, so it would make sense if you could join us. And then Rollins says, let me tell you something. The next time I see Roman Reigns, I'll be stomping his head in for good. But let me tell you something. I would never team up with the real Roman. But I would never team up even with the wannabe Roman. And then Jacob, he tries to get into it, Rollins, but then Soul holds him back. Yeah, I mean... Whatever. I mean, again, I do like what they did. You know, again, like, I'm not saying Rollins can be involved, but it kind of makes sense storyline-wise. Like, see, like, you know, because Rollins does have history with Roman, right? But the only problem is, like, that little line by calling Solo a wannabe Roman does kind of hurt him. Let's just say it. Because then, unfortunately, that is the truth. Whatever. Anyways, the main event, we got Diva Shit main eventing the show, aka She-Hulky women's feminazi crap. I don't know. It's your typical WWE wants to pretend that women's wrestling matters for God knows what, especially with the announcement of the women's mid-card title and WarGames and black women being unrepresented because I guess that's why they're also doing it. I don't fucking get it. I don't care. Apparently, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair don't get along with each other, and I don't give a fuck if that's the truth. At least they're being professionals, you know, that's a good thing. But yeah, freaking Diva Shit main event in the show, and nobody fucking cares. Jade Cargill, Bianca, they defeated Liv and Raquel. This was a mess, because for God knows what reason, Nia Snax came out during this match. Like, why does he have a problem with any of these bitches? I go and Liv, whatever. She comes out along with freaking Tiffany Stratton. Naomi was there for some reason. Like, how was she supposed to know that they were going to be there? I don't get it. And then Io Sky was there for some reason too. Not that I care. And it just leads to like, oh, because of this fucking mess. Liv and Bianca and Jay, they freaking lose the match or whatever. I mean, yeah, no, Bianca and Jay, they won the match. They retained the tag championships, and eventually we see, we see the baby faces stand tall. Like Nia Jax was basically like attacking all the baby faces, but then eventually all the baby faces just stand up and stand tall. And the reason they're doing this is because of WarGames. Or whatever, fucking Survivor Series bullshit. Listen, the women do not need a fucking WarGames match. And I feel like doing 2 WarGames matches honestly kills the match. You don't need to do everything that the men does, okay? You don't. And again, what was I gonna say? Yeah, you don't need to do what the men does just because the men are doing it. You don't need to do a shitty fucking WarGames match. Like, why? What's the point of a fucking women's WarGames match? Because the men do it? And again, that was a mess of a main event segment. Again, there's nothing wrong if they were to do a freaking regular 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match. You know? Maybe do something like that because we haven't... Again, that used to be a nice staple for Survivor Series. But no, they don't want to do it because, I don't know. For some reason, you know, Triple H has a hard on for WCW type of shit. And I don't know. He likes to see his She-Hulky women fucking showcase. I don't fucking know. And watch. The show's gonna open, the Survivor Series is gonna open with fucking the women and with the men. And nobody's gonna really care about the women because women's wrestling don't draw. Who cares? I know the fucking smarts are gonna tend to care about women's goddamn wrestling, and this match will open the show. And don't be surprised when there'll be a bunch of flips in that match because what Tiffany Stratton has a moonsault finisher, same thing with Io Shirai. Like, you don't be surprised. And then they're gonna do the match long, and who the fuck cares? You know who the fuck cares? Okay, fuck it. Who the fuck cares? No one cares about women's goddamn wrestling. Okay, and I'm sorry, the women do not need WarGames. They don't. You're just forcing it at that point. And again, they're forcing the WarGames match anyways. Like, you're really forcing it. You don't need to do 2 regardless. Like, you're forcing the WarGames match. 1 is kind of enough. But again, how about kind of stop doing the WarGames match every year? You know, hopefully this year will be the last, and then they go back to maybe doing traditional. I'm not saying every year, like, they don't need to not do a WarGames match every year. I mean, it would be nice, like, you save WarGames for a special time of the year. Maybe, you know, it could happen in June or whatever. But not just that, like, you know, you could bring back the Survivor Series at certain times of like, years. Like, it could be back in a few years from now. It is, you don't need to do it every fucking year. Then it gets tiring. And again, maybe it would be nice to see, like, if you're going to do a WarGames match, how about you implement Survivor Series style? Like, you know, you have to also win by eliminating everybody. Like, why not do something like that? And also, can we fucking bring back the roof? Enough with this flippity-flopping open cage. But regardless, Raw sucked. Boring as fuck. Same shit. Till next time, peace. Yeah, bye. Garbage.